Hello and welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. In this video, we are building Morgwaeth's Blade-Coven. We've already unboxed it. Check the link or the card above. But we're going to unbox them and put them together to get models like Morgwaeth herself. Look at that glorious looking model. A creepy snake lady who will haunt your dreams. And then jumping whip lady who will catch you out. So some very, very cool models here. There's 5 in total. Didn't show them all off then. So we're going to put them together. And if you stay to the end of the video, I will let you know how you can get 15% off this warband if you want to buy it. So stay tuned for that. Let's get on with the build. If you've looked at the other video, you'll know that these models are extremely straightforward to put together. Look, 3 parts, including and a base. Some even have like 3 parts here. Like just 2 parts. It's super simple. So it won't take long to put these together, and that's the great thing about these. They are push fit, so you can put them together. I will be using glue, simply because I like using glue for these kind of models. So let's get stuck into it. First up, we are going to go with numbered 1, quite simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 bits, really. That's it, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the bits we need. So we need to find them on the sprue. So I'll bring up both sprues as usual. So I think find 2 there. Look around. It's 1, 2, there's 4, and we're looking for a 3. Which actually looks like it's on the other sprue. If I can see it, 3, and there. So most of it's on this sprue, which has 3 of the bases, but then the 4th one is right there. And I'll try to keep the sprues orientated if you are building along, just so you can see where we're going. So bring the instructions out here so we can see it just in the top corner there. And then we'll bring up part 1, which is the big part. This is the lady with the big creepy knife whip. So I hope you are doing well. I am doing quite fantastic. I'm just making a whole bunch of videos today. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, because we do all these videos all the time. So unboxing and live building, just so you can follow along at home. And we'll get the base as well while we're here. And let me know if you have got this model and what do you think of them. And how do they play? Because I don't play anymore. I don't really know what warbands do. I am going to start collecting properly again once Diachasm comes out. But for now, I'm just going to chill out. So, in these videos, these are the quick build guides. I'm not going to clean them up or anything like that. They just go together. I advise that you do clean them up. That's just what you do. So, firstly, there is a little sub-assembly there of unit part 2 and part 3. So, this goes very straightforward together. You got the body and then the leg. It goes in like that. Actually, I've decided I'm not going to glue. Let's just do it as a push fit. I do advise gluing, particularly parts like this, because it does move around a bit. And that goes in. There's a little bit of a seam line there that you can see. I think you can see that. So you might want to cut the peg a little bit just to get a little bit more in there, because the pegs are really tight, which is fine. You need that. Now for the body, again, you've got the main body. There is a peg right there, and it goes in pretty straightforward. You would assume. I'm doing this because the camera is slightly in the way. Oh, it goes the other side, doesn't it? I know how bodies work. There we go. I know how bodies work completely. So that slides in there like that. So very, very dynamic pose. I really like it. And then the base goes in. It just locks into place like that. There we go. First one down. How easy is that? You guys, if you're new to putting these models together, this is probably one of the simplest kits that I've seen so far. In recent times, of course. So you're not going to have any problems at all putting these together. Next up, we have Morgwaeth herself. So we'll bring these back in, get them back in the right spot. And of course, the instructions at the top here. So we need part 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's cut them all out now. So 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's have a look here. On this base, nothing on this sprue here that had the 3 bases. So they're all on this base here. So I'm just referring back to the instructions all the time. Always helps, even if they're not always 100% clear, but it's good to get an idea. So we get 5 first, which is the main body in this section here. Chop this out. Careful on this blade, particularly with items that are long and thin. There is a lot of pressure and tension built up into these sprues. So I can show you. When I cut this one, it should spring out a bit. Alright, it didn't spring out a bit, but it's something to be aware of. There it goes. It was this one here. That's the point where all the tension is. So everything sort of went from here and sprung that way. So just hold on to it and just be careful with it. I always find, particularly these cut, I know in one of the, what was it? The Eldar model from Blackstone Fortress has a very long gun and a whole bunch of thin pieces. And if you cut the wrong bit first, it just snaps in half because all that tension is suddenly released and goes elsewhere in the sprue. So something be careful with that. All right, we need this one again. So that was 5. Now we need 6, which is her over half of the body, which is at the top there, holding up the chalice. Likely to be filled of blood of their victims or sacrifices. It's what they do. It's what they do. And 7, giant hair. Pretty hard to miss. Alright, like that. And then the base, which is 8. So 8 is this base here. So it's just a base where it's kind of really chunky. Really cool looking base. And sort of set so higher than all the other models. Alright. Straightforward. Again, the models just sort of go in like a sandwich. So you have the most of her body there. You have the chalice arm here. So bring that closer to the camera. It just kind of goes in like that. There's a lot of tension in that. I'm actually pushing really hard to get that in. So it would be worthwhile cutting back the peg just a little bit, or even like trimming it down, just shaving off a bit of the end so it becomes more of a point. But that's fine, that goes in no problem. And then the hair, I might actually do it on here, just because the hair's got to go perfectly in. So you can see, I just cut off, you can see there, I just cut off a little tiny bit. Just made a bit more of a point, and this will go in much nicer. That slid in so much easier. So that's pretty much it. And then the base. So the base is pretty straightforward. She's facing literally forward. So hold the base like that and just slide her in there. And the pegs are pretty tight for here, so oh yeah, the pegs are actually really tight. So again, for this one, I would cut the pegs down, and you might not be able to see it here. Let me get it in focus. There's a little, get a pointer, just in there, there's a little discoloration, or it's gone a bit lighter. So that hole there is actually really tight. So just be careful with that. It may crack a little bit. It looks like it hasn't cracked, it's just stretched a lot. So there we go. There's Morgwaeth, we can focus on her. Lovely. Second model down, and we're a few minutes in. Super simple. Like I said, guys, this is a really simple kit. Shouldn't have any problem at all. Alright, unit number 3. This is the one that's crouching down. So we need 9, 10, 11, 12. So make an assumption it's all on this one. So 9, 10, 11, 12, all in the top half there. Super simple indeed. So I'll cut this out. One thing I love about Warhammer Underworlds is each unit is very distinct, very dynamically posed. You have a small number of models. It's just a little tiny cool project just in itself. I think that's really cool. We also need number 11, which is giant hair and blade. Yeah, so if you just want a cool little project, just spend 55 Australian or less. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, I'm going to talk about how you can get this cheaper. and how you can help out the channel. And finally, that's all the pieces. So let's put this baby together. So, pretty simple, 9 and 10 go together, which is the body and the leg here. They slide in just like that. So there's 2 pegs right there. I might actually bring this a bit closer now. It is difficult to see because there's a lot going on the screen. Hopefully you can see and follow along. So it goes pretty straightforward in like that. There's 2 pegs, 2 holes. Straightforward. I definitely would glue this piece together, to be honest. Requires a lot of pressure to push in, but it'll get there. You can see how there is that big gap there. So I'm actually going to pull that apart a bit, if I can, without breaking it. Okay. And you can see in there the whitening of that. That means that there's a bit of pressure in there, but that could have been because when I pulled it out. So again, just chipping off a little tiny bit. Actually, there's a bit too much on that side, but this will help it go in a bit better. There we go. Oops. Might have cut off a bit too much then, but it helps it go in. And still, you still need a little bit to push in. Yeah, it's definitely not going in right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this peg off completely. Actually, you do need to clean this. This is what it is here. There is a little bit of sprue left over. So that should go in perfectly fine now. But now I've cut that off, I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Come on, out you come, just a little bit. Come on, glue. You were working like 2 seconds ago. Okay, just a little dab of glue, nothing too much. Because these models are somewhat small and a lot of detail, you don't want to wreck it. So a little glue's coming out there, but that's fitting. So there was a little bit of sprue on that piece. So when you cut out piece, what is it? 9 on the blank side, where the other part of the body goes, just cut that bit of sprue off and that will help you out, no problem. So I'm going to put this in now, put it into the base now, and that will go in without any issue, he says as he struggles. That's gone in. It's very tight and you can feel it, and then it clicks when it goes in. And then we have this part of the body. So there's 2 parts there. I'm not going to cut that piece. There's a peg there. Get into focus. That little peg there, that needs to be long because the hole in this hair is a long way back. So just be careful with it. There is a lot of little details little spiky details that can easily break off, and you don't really want to lose detail in here. Interesting. Doesn't really seem to want to go in. Just like that. This is what I mean. Lots of little details, but we can come fix that back in a second. That'll be fine. Don't worry. Okay. So that's gone in now. And this is what does happen. So super simple. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm doing off camera. So I'm going to leave that there. Bring that down a bit. So with the glue, you only want a little bit of glue. So I have this little tray here that I just push out. Come on. The glue's actually really locked up a bit. There we go. So I've just pushed a little bit out. So you have some glue loaded in there. And I don't know if you can see that. It is starting to come out a little bit. So I'm just super careful. Little tiny dot. And that's it. And then now we put that back on. And that will glue in nicely. Unfortunately, you do lose a little bit of detail. But that cannot be helped. It is quite fiddly, so just be careful. And then that will dry up nicely. If you can see that there. And if you think that's wrecked it, just add some more gunk around there. Make it a bit more of a grimy knife. That's like got poison on it or something. There's always ways around it. So we'll put that off to the side carefully. Now, we've got 2 more to go, don't we? No, we've missed one. Have we missed one? I feel like we've missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, okay, this is 2 different bits here. Always pays to read the instructions. So 13, 14, 15, it's on this sprue here. It's on the last one's on this one. So we can cut them all out now. Okay. So that's that sprue done. Nicely done. So this is pretty straightforward. Stick the body in, no big issue. It's obvious where it goes. You won't really have to think about it too much. Again, it's quite fiddly to get in, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the pegs and actually glue this. Because now I'm a bit nervous about putting things in. Alright, so just cut the pegs off. A little bit of glue on the feet. That's all you need. You don't need much at all. So we'll bring this one back. And on here, you might see it here, there are some marks where the feet go. So it'll slot into those spots pretty easily. And I've done it the wrong way, haven't I? There we go. Yeah, I had it around the wrong way. And you can feel it. You can put it on there and you go, oh, that doesn't fit. And then you put it on the other side and it'll fit. So that will glue on there. Just got to be careful with it. And this is a single peg into the back of this body. But of course, because we've just glued this in, be super careful. Try not to hold onto the base while you're putting this in. I can actually get it on camera. So don't hold it like this and push it because there's no stability holding the model to the base. But I just use it to grip it first and then push that in. And that locks in really nicely. So there we go. Of course, there's mold lines and sprue marks to remove, but overall, that's fine. Easy does it. It's really not that difficult. Okay, final one. We'll build the base first. So 16 and 17. Obviously, it's the last one's on the sprue, and you can tell which one it is. It's the base and the long bit of the tail. And this one definitely needs a bit of a clean. So you can see on here there's tons of, lots of big chunky sprue marks on there. It is what it is, can't do much about it. So, you've got to make sure you get the right bit here. You can see from above this has 2 holes. This one has 1, goes in the 1. And that easily goes in. And it slots in there. And I would definitely glue this in. But for this one, it goes in pretty fine. And it gives a little bit of wiggle room. So definitely, I think you will want to put some glue in there just to link that all together. So, yeah. Okay, on to the last bit. Now we need to build the body. So we need part 18 and 19, and then that will slot right in. So there's only 2 bits left, so it's really not that difficult now. And this is, other than Morgwaeth I think is a really fantastic model. This is one of the favourite model of the kit. And I think a lot of people have the same opinion on that. Alright, that just comes out like that. We get snake tail out of the way. So, pull that around. See the front of the body has the, I guess, the corset armor section. It goes in. That's it. Pretty straightforward. And that will lock into place. And that's, push it in, no problem. And finally, I'll have to hold this down because it's fiddly to hold. But yeah, you got the 2 holes down there. And then the two pegs on this bit will go in like that. And there we go. And if you are really worried, you could probably move the, I don't know if you can see it there, the tail around and glue it to her hand, just to be sure. But that's it. So let's bring them all back out and we'll show them off. Here we are, all 5 models put together for Morgwaeth's Blade-Coven for Warhammer Underworlds. These models are so dynamically posed, like really, they are really pushing what they can do. Like for example, this one here, without knocking the whole set over, it is held together on the base by this tiny little thing, like probably 1/4 centimeter, a little bit more than that. And it's stuck on there and it doesn't fall over. The model stands upright, you can knock it a bit, and it's not going to fall over. So a lot of thought has gone into that. So again, this model is so really good. You get a lot of sense of character from this one here. We'll pick out Big Giant Snake Lady. Very cool model. Like again, pose is amazing. Absolutely love it. Very simple to put together. So we can just turn that around. You can see there is a little bit of a mark there, a little join line, so you can fix that up in a few different ways with some glue or some green stuff. But again, very cool. Very dynamic. Like that quiver is just sticking out, which is very nice. And then we have, I won't pick out all of them for now, but we'll grab this one. Morgwaeth herself with Chalice of Blood. Very cool model. Really do like it. Lots of hair, which is always fun. You want that for this army. Very dynamically posed. You've got a lot of wind going on, a lot of movement of her hair as well, which is very cool. So there we go. That's it. Very cool warband. I'm very happy that I picked these ones up. As soon as I saw them, I'm like, I want these models. They're very nice. Now, normally it's 55 Australian in store, but you can get it cheaper, of course, at any store. I recommend Element Games. If you click the link below in the description, you'll get 15% off the price for UK and EU orders. And if you do order through that link, I get a little kickback on the channel and it helps out the channel. Helps me buy more models. So definitely, please do consider that. So that's all we'll do for now. If you do enjoy these kind of videos, please do subscribe, like, and comment. And definitely comment what your favorite model is. Like I said, it's between these two. This one is a close third. That's all for now. I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.